I've been camping my whole life. Deep woods, national parks, middle of nowhere. And I used to laugh at people who said they felt watched. Until one night, at exactly 2:47 a.m., something walked around our tent, slowly, and it wasn't an animal. What you're about to hear are 3 true camping stories that still haunt me to this day. Turn the lights down. This gets dark. The footsteps around the tent. This happened 5 years ago in northern Colorado. My friend Jake and I decided to do a weekend camping trip in a remote forest area. No official campground, just us, a tent, and miles of trees. The first day was normal. We hiked, set up camp, built a fire, nothing unusual. But around midnight, things shifted. The forest went silent. If you've ever been deep in the woods, you know what I mean. No crickets, no wind, just stillness. Jake joked, "Probably a bear." I laughed. Then we heard it. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, circling our tent. Crunch. Pause. Crunch. Pause. It wasn't walking past us, it was walking around us. We froze. "Bear?" I whispered. Jake didn't answer. The steps continued for almost a full minute, then stopped directly behind my side of the tent. I could hear breathing, not loud, but steady, like something standing inches away. Then 3 slow scratches dragged across the tent fabric, not tearing, just dragging. I grabbed my flashlight and yelled, "Hey!" Silence. We waited. 5 minutes passed. Nothing. Finally, Jake unzipped the tent slightly and shined the light outside. Nothing there. No animal, no movement. The next morning, we checked the ground. There were footprints, but they didn't look right. They were too narrow, too long, and too evenly spaced, and they only circled the tent once. No tracks leading in, no tracks leading out. We packed up immediately and left. To this day, I still don't know what was breathing behind my tent that night. The stranger by the fire. This happened to my cousin Mia in Washington State. She went camping alone near Olympic National Park, not deep wilderness, just a quiet site near the trees. Around 10 p.m., she was sitting by her fire when she heard leaves rustling behind her. She assumed it was a deer. When she turned around, she saw a man standing about 30 feet away. No flashlight, no camping gear, just standing there. She called out, "Hey, are you okay?" He didn't answer. He just stood there, watching her. She said his face looked blank, no emotion. After about 20 seconds, he slowly stepped back into the darkness. Mia felt uneasy but tried to brush it off. Maybe another camper. She locked herself in her car to sleep. Around 3 a.m., she woke up to tapping on her window. Soft, rhythmic, tap, tap, tap. Her heart dropped. She looked toward the driver's side window, and there he was, the same man, standing inches from the glass, smiling, not knocking hard, just tapping gently, like he didn't want to scare her, but he already had. She grabbed her phone to call 911. By the time she looked back up, he was gone. She never saw him leave. Park rangers later told her no one else had registered to camp in that area. She hasn't gone camping alone since. The radio that wasn't ours. This one happened to me last summer in Montana. 3 of us went camping near a remote lake. No service, no nearby campsites, just pure wilderness. Around 1 a.m., while we were inside the tent, we heard faint static, like an old radio signal cutting in and out. At first, we thought it was coming from someone else's campsite, but it sounded close, really close. Then, through the static, we heard a voice, distorted, low. "Help!" We all sat up. "Did you hear that?" my friend Mark whispered. The static continued. "Can you hear me?" The voice sounded like it was coming from right outside the tent, but none of us had a radio, and we hadn't seen anyone else all day. Mark slowly unzipped the tent. The sound immediately stopped. Dead silence. We stepped outside with flashlights. Nothing. No lights in the distance, no footprints near the lake, no equipment. The next morning, we searched the entire area. There was no sign of another campsite within miles. But here's the part that still haunts me. When we packed up and drove home, Mark found something in his backpack, a small, broken walkie-talkie. None of us had seen it before. It wasn't ours, and it wasn't there when we arrived. The batteries were dead, but the speaker smelled like it had just overheated. We never figured out how it got there, and none of us have gone back to that lake since. Camping used to feel peaceful. Now, every time I hear leaves crunch at night, I don't assume it's an animal anymore. If you have a true camping horror story that still haunts you, drop it in the comments. And if you want more real, disturbing stories like these, hit subscribe. You never know what's waiting in the woods. If you survived these chilling camping horror stories and want more true scary encounters every single day, hit that subscribe button now. Join the American Sleep Tales family, because you never know what might be lurking in the next story. Turn off the lights, grab your headphones, and don't miss tomorrow's nightmare.